قل اللهم مالك الملك تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك ممن تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء بيدك الخير إنك على كل شيء قدير.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، وصلى الله على محمد وآل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعن الدائم على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. Greetings and welcome, dear brothers and sisters. Now, have you ever noticed how when someone becomes rich, powerful, or famous, they suddenly seem to be good at everything? They're not just successful. They're hailed as a visionary thinker, a poetic soul, a strategic genius. But then, when that same person falls from grace, the narrative flips completely. Suddenly, their genuine talents are forgotten, their good deeds are questioned, and they are stripped of every virtue. This isn't just a modern phenomenon of cancel culture or media hype. It's a timeless human behavior observed and explained over 1,400 years ago by one of history's greatest minds, Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib عليه السلام. Today we're going to explore one of his most insightful sayings, a saying that holds up a mirror to our own souls and our society. And we'll unpack its meaning with a story, inshallah ta'ala, and to see how the principle plays out even in our daily lives nowadays, in our world today. The saying, which of course is available in Nahjal Balagha, the wisdom word number 9, also available on the authority of Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq عليه السلام in Ayun Akhbar al-Ridha, complied by Sheikh al-Saduq. In the narration, it is stated, إذا أقبلت الدنيا على قوم أعارته محاسن غيره وإذا أدبرت عنه سلبته محاسن نفسه. When the world advances towards someone, it lends him the merits of others, the virtues of others. And when it turns away from him, it deprives him of his own merits. So let's break this down. The saying, as may seem simple, but has layers. Let's look at it at two parts. The first part is that when the world advances towards someone, it lends that individual the merits of others. What does the world advancing mean, first of all? It means worldly success, envisioned, illustrated in wealth, power, position, fame. When a person gains such statuses in this world, something fascinating happens. People start attributing to them good qualities that they don't actually possess. They make them grow. They blow them up like a balloon. For example, a wealthy businessman might be called a genius or a great wit, even if he's just average. A political leader might be praised for virtues like courage and unmatched generosity that belong to historical figures, not to that person, not to that leader. عليه Jamali Khansari explains, in the eyes of people, this successful person appears so good that they even give him credit for the good qualities of other people. So it's like the spotlight of success is so bright that it illuminates not only the person, but also casts a glow that makes people see virtues that aren't there. This is the loan of other people's merits. The second part is that when it turns away from that individual, it deprives him of his own merits. Now the reverse, when that same person loses their wealth, their power, their status, the world doesn't just take back the loaned merits, the loaned virtues that it gave them. It goes further. It strikes harder. It starts stripping away the person's own genuine, inherited good qualities. The kindness he always had is now seen as a weakness. The genuine intelligence is dismissed as mere cunning. His real accomplishments are now downplayed or forgotten. In the view of people, he has become devoid of the merits he truly possesses, and they are taken away from him. The spotlight moves away, and he is left not only in darkness. This is Ghaye Khunsari's words. The spotlight moves away, and he is left not only in darkness, but also robbed of his own light. Now, to see this saying in action, there's no better story than that of Ja'far al-Barmaki from the court of the Abbasid Caliph Harun al-Rashid. The Barmakid family were the kingmakers of the empire, and Ja'far was Harun's closest friend and vizier. When Harun's opinion of Ja'far was high, he was bewitched by his virtues, or by his figure, by his status. Ibn Abil Hadid says that Harun al-Rashid would swear to Allah, or by Allah, that Ja'far was more eloquent than the legendary pre-Islamic speaker Qais ibn Sa'd. He was braver than the famous warrior Amr ibn Tufayl. He was a better writer than Abdul Hamid. He was a better statesman than some of the caliphs. He was more handsome than the famously handsome Mus'ab ibn Zubayr. He was more sincere than Al-Hajjaj. And he was more generous than Abdullah ibn Ja'far. He was more chaste, more devoted than even Yusuf al-Nabi himself. Now, here's the crucial detail. The historical records point out that Ja'far was not particularly handsome, nor was he that generous, nor was he that strong in speaking. But in Harun's eyes, bathed in the light of Ja'far's power and favor, he became the top of beauty and the top of eloquence and every other virtue. Harun wasn't just praising Ja'far's real skills, he was lending him the supreme merits, the virtues of the greatest figures from Arab history. So this is the first part of Imam Ali's saying in its fullest expression with Ja'far. Now, suddenly, in the same story of Ja'far, Harun's opinion changes. The reasons, of course, are complex. It involves a lot of personal disputes and anyways, but almost overnight, that spell that was casted upon Harun was broken. Harun didn't just take back the loaned virtues. In various stories, he began to deny Ja'far's real merits. The very ones that no one could dispute about, were undeniable, are all gone. He ignored them, he twisted them. And it was various incidents happened with Ja'far that made him fall away from that power that he had, that nice look that he had, that spotlight that he had. So that's the dunya. That's the dunya. It gives you a spotlight, it gives you light, and then it takes it away. The story of Ja'far is a classic case. But Ibn Abil Hadid also points out this is a universal pattern. When he explains the narration of Amir al-Mu'mineen, he says that we find that people attribute, for example, poems to Abu Nawas because he was the famous poet. And the poet that wrote the real poem was lost out on being given the virtue of such great poems. For example, the generosity of Hatim al-Ta'i and Abdullah ibn Ja'far became legendary, so they started attracting stories of generosity from others. And the reverse is also true. Ibn Abil Hadid says that he has seen excellent poetry denied its true unknown author because the author was unknown. And instead it was attributed to someone more famous. He has seen entire books on sciences whose authors were forgotten get attributed to more prominent scholars. So why does this happen? There are flatterers, so like when someone is powerful, flatterers swarm around them, swarm around them, weaving lies and exaggerating their virtues to gain favor. These stories spread until they are accepted as truth. Envy also When a person falls, their enemies and those who were always envious feel safe to speak up. They not only attack them, but also actively work to deny and strip away their genuine good qualities. And the human need for heroes might be one of the examples. We have a tendency to create larger than life heroes. We want our champions to be perfect, so we project all virtues onto them. And when they fall, our disappointment is so great that we tear them down completely, which is very unfortunate. Now, of course, we see this every day today. A successful COO is not only just a CEO, he's a visionary. When his company stumbles, the media doesn't just criticize his business decisions, they attack his character and dismiss his genuine intelligence. Celebrities and cancel culture nowadays. Celebrities beloved and every post is seen as a wise and profound post. The moment they make a mistake, they're cancelled and their past charity work is framed as a publicity stunt. So, what is the lesson for us? Imam Ali alayhi السلام is giving us a warning and a tool for self-reflection. Be critical, be critically aware of this social phenomenon. Don't be swayed by the hype when the world advances towards someone. Look at people for who they truly are, beyond their wealth and status. And don't kick someone when they're down, denying them their inherent dignity and good qualities. We must ask ourselves, are we building our self-worth on the fickle approval of the world? If our sense of merit comes from our job title, our social media followers, or our wealth, then we are building on sand. When the world advances towards us, we might be fooled into thinking we are greater than we are. And when it turns away, we will be crushed, feeling we have lost not just our status, but our very selves. The key is to build our identity on something solid and unchanging, on good character, on sincere faith, on genuine knowledge, and acts of kindness that are done for the sake of good, not for the praise, for Allah, taqwa Allah Azza wa Jal. The world's favor is alone, that will be recalled. But the merits you do with your own soul, your integrity, your patience, your compassion, these are yours forever. You take them with you to the grave. No one can lend them to you and no one can take them away. So this profound insight from Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam helps us navigate a world of illusions. It teaches us to see more clearly, to judge more fairly, and to build a life of true substance, not borrowed glamour. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to aid us in being alert and waking up in this world. بحق Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. Thank you guys for watching. If you find this insightful, please share your thoughts in the comments below. What examples of this saying have you seen in your own life? And I love reading your comments and taking experiences from others. Any criticism or building criticism we take with both hands, inshallah ta'ala, happily. And we thank you guys for joining us. Until another episode, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.